The old alien dragon lay alone in a deep, dark canyon. Its huge body was covered with cuts, burns, and broken scales. Once this dragon was strong and feared by many planets, but now it was weak and tired. The battle had left it badly hurt. It could barely breathe. Its eyes were dim, and it knew that soon it would die here, far away from home. The dragon thought about its life. It remembered the days when it flew high in the sky, breathing fire and protecting its people. But those days were gone. Now enemies hunted it everywhere. The war was lost. Many of its kind were dead. The dragon had no energy left to fight. It did not try to hide or run. It just lay there, waiting for the end. The sun began to set, casting red and orange colors across the sky. The cold wind blew through the canyon. The dragon's heavy breathing slowed. It closed its eyes and accepted that this was the last moment of its life. Far away from the canyon, a young human woman named Kara was walking carefully through the ruins of a destroyed city. Kara was a medic. She worked with a rescue team. Their mission was to find survivors and help the injured. Kara was brave and kind. She always wanted to help others, no matter the danger. Kara's scanner suddenly beeped. The signal was weak but clear. A living being was nearby. Kara's heart beat faster. She told the others she would check it out. The team warned her. It might be dangerous, but Kara felt she had to try. She moved slowly and quietly toward the signal. After a long walk, Kara reached a dark cave. Inside, she saw a huge shape lying on the ground. It was the dragon. Its eyes were closed, and its chest moved up and down slowly. Kara's breath caught in her throat. She had never seen an alien like this before. It was huge, scary, and different from anything on Earth. But Kara did not feel fear. She saw pain in the dragon's face. She knelt beside it and touched its broken scales gently. The dragon opened one eye slowly. It looked at Kara with surprise. It did not expect a human to come so close, especially to help. Kara spoke softly. "I'm here to help you," she said. She pulled out her medical kit and began to clean the dragon's wounds. The dragon flinched but stayed still. Kara worked carefully. She used her tools to stop the bleeding and cover the cuts. She talked to the dragon as she worked, hoping to calm it. The night came, but Kara did not leave. She stayed by the dragon's side. She wrapped bandages around the worst wounds and set up a small device to help the dragon breathe. The dragon was weak, but alive. Kara smiled softly. She believed the dragon could live if she took care of it. The dragon watched Kara. It had never met a human like her before. Usually, humans ran away or tried to kill it. But Kara was different. She was kind and brave. The dragon felt something new inside. Trust. The cold night was long. The wind howled outside the cave. Kara held the dragon's huge claw gently to keep it calm. She whispered stories about her home and her family. The dragon listened, its breathing slowly getting stronger. As the first light of morning touched the cave, the dragon opened both eyes fully. It looked at Kara and made a soft sound, almost like a thank you. Kara smiled and patted its claw. She knew their journey was just beginning. Outside the cave, the ruins were silent. But something had changed. A strange friendship had started between a human medic and an old, dying alien dragon. Neither knew what the future would bring, but both felt hope. Hope for life. Hope for a new chance. The sun rose higher, warming the rocky canyon. Kara woke early, excited but nervous. She looked at the alien dragon lying on the cold stone floor. Its breathing was slow but steady now. The wounds were still fresh, but Kara knew healing takes time. She took a deep breath and began her work again. Kara cleaned the dragon's wounds carefully. She used special medicine to stop the pain and help the skin grow back. The dragon stayed still and watched her. It was hard for it to trust anyone, but Kara's gentle hands made it feel safe. Kara spoke softly, telling the dragon stories about Earth, about green forests, blue oceans, and tall mountains. The dragon listened, its huge eyes full of curiosity. Days passed. Kara came every morning, carrying food and water. The dragon was too hurt to eat much, but it tried. Kara brought fresh meat from the rescue team's supplies. She fed the dragon slowly, putting small pieces near its mouth. At first, the dragon only opened its mouth a little, but soon it began to eat more. It was a slow but important step. Sometimes Kara would sit beside the dragon and rest. She looked at the powerful creature and wondered how it had lived for so many years. The dragon had seen wars, lost friends, and survived dangers no one else could. Kara felt respect and sadness for the great beast. One afternoon, Kara heard strange noises outside the cave. She stood up quickly and looked out. Enemy soldiers were coming closer. They had weapons and wore heavy armor. They were looking for survivors or anything valuable. Kara knew the dragon was still weak. It could not fight them now. Kara's heart pounded. She whispered to the dragon, "We have to hide." The dragon understood and slowly tried to stand. Its legs were shaky, but it moved closer to Kara. Together, they moved deeper into the cave where the light was faint. Kara held the dragon's claw tightly. They waited quietly, hoping the soldiers would not find them. The soldiers entered the cave and looked around. Their voices were loud and angry. They searched for hours, but Kara and the dragon stayed still and silent. Finally, the soldiers left, angry and empty-handed. Kara breathed a sigh of relief. The dragon let out a low rumble as if saying thank you. After the soldiers left, Kara knew the dragon needed to get stronger. She stayed by its side day and night, giving medicine, food, and water. The dragon began to move more easily. It lifted, its head higher, and stretched its wings a little. Kara smiled. She could see the old strength coming back. One evening, Kara and the dragon watched the stars together. The dragon tried to speak using deep growls and soft roars. Kara listened carefully. Slowly, she began to understand the meaning behind the sounds. The dragon was telling her about its home planet, a place of fire and mountains where dragons ruled the skies. Kara shared stories about Earth and her family. They were from very different worlds, but they found a way to connect. The dragon started to trust Kara more every day. It followed her around the cave and even let her touch its rough scales. Kara felt a strong friendship growing. She knew this was more than just saving a life. It was a new beginning for both of them. One day, the dragon suddenly stood up. It looked at Kara with bright eyes and made a deep roar. It was the first time it had been so strong since the battle. Kara was happy but careful. She helped the dragon walk outside the cave. The fresh air and sunlight made the dragon feel alive again. As they stood on the cliff edge, Kara looked at the dragon and said, "You are strong. You can fight again when the time comes." The dragon looked at her and rumbled softly, showing it understood. Together, Kara and the dragon prepared for the challenges ahead. The galaxy was still dangerous and enemies were everywhere, but now they were no longer alone. They had each other, a human medic and an old alien dragon, ready to face the future together. The days passed slowly but surely. Kara and the dragon became closer with each sunrise. The dragon, once old and weak, was growing stronger. Its wounds were healing, and its breath came easier. Kara's care and kindness had given it new hope, a reason to fight for life again. One morning, Kara heard strange noises from far away. A low rumble of engines and heavy footsteps echoed through the canyon. Her heart jumped. Enemy soldiers were returning. This time, they brought machines and weapons more powerful than before. Kara knew they had to be ready. The dragon stood beside her, tall and proud. It stretched its wings wide and let out a loud roar that shook the rocks around them. Kara smiled. The dragon was no longer the weak creature she had found. It was becoming a powerful warrior once more. Kara and the dragon made a plan. They would defend the cave and the nearby ruins where many survivors hid. Kara gathered her small team of medics and fighters. She told them about the dragon and its strength. Some were scared, but most were hopeful. They knew the dragon could protect them. As the sun set, the enemy soldiers arrived. Their machines rolled over the rocky ground like thunder. The soldiers shouted orders and aimed their weapons. Kara's team took their positions and the dragon prepared to fight. The battle began with loud explosions and flashes of light. The dragon flew high above the battlefield. It breathed fire that lit up the dark sky. The enemy machines were strong, but they could not match the dragon's power and speed. The dragon's claws and teeth tore through the machines, destroying them one by one. Kara moved quickly on the ground, helping the injured and giving orders. She worked without fear, trusting the dragon to protect her and her team. The dragon fought fiercely, not just for itself, but for Kara and the people who believed in it. The enemy was surprised by the dragon's strength and bravery. They tried to change their tactics, sending more soldiers and bigger machines. But the dragon was too fast and smart. It dodged their attacks and struck back with even greater force. After hours of fighting, the enemy soldiers began to retreat. They could not win against the human and the alien dragon working together. Kara and her team cheered. The dragon roared in victory, proud and strong once again. But the battle was only the beginning. Kara knew more dangers were coming. The galaxy was full of enemies who wanted to destroy the dragon and anyone who helped it. Kara and the dragon had to be ready for whatever came next. In the days after the battle, Kara and the dragon grew even closer. They shared quiet moments by the fire, talking without words. The dragon used soft growls and gentle roars to tell Kara about its past, the great wars, the lost friends, and the hope for a better future. Kara listened and shared her own dreams of peace and friendship between worlds. One evening, Kara asked the dragon, "Will you stay with me? Will you fight by my side forever?" The dragon looked at her with glowing eyes and made a soft sound, as if promising to never leave. Together, they planned their next moves. Kara wanted to find more survivors and build a safe place for them. The dragon wanted to protect the weak and fight for peace. Their goals were the same, to make the galaxy a better place. As night fell, Kara looked at the stars with the dragon beside her. She felt hope like never before. The old alien dragon, once ready to die, was now alive and strong because of a human's kindness. And she knew their story was just beginning. After their first big fight, Kara and the dragon knew they could not stay in the canyon forever. The enemy would come back with more soldiers and stronger weapons. They needed a safe place, a home where they could rest, heal, and plan their next moves. Kara talked to her team. They agreed to search for a hidden shelter far from the battle zones. The team packed supplies and food, water, medicine, and tools. The dragon stretched its wings, ready to fly. Kara climbed on its back. Together they took off into the sky, leaving the canyon behind. The air was cold and fresh at high altitude. The dragon flew fast and steady. Kara held tight, feeling the wind on her face. She looked down and saw forests, rivers, and mountains. It was beautiful, a new world waiting for them. After a long flight, the dragon spotted a large cave hidden behind thick trees on a mountain. It was perfect, safe, quiet, and hard to find. Kara smiled. This would be their new home. They landed carefully inside the cave. It was warm and dry. The walls glowed with strange crystals that gave soft light. Kara and her team began to clean the cave and set up beds. The dragon stretched and rested its tired wings. Days passed peacefully. Kara and the dragon trained together. Kara learned to understand the dragon's sounds and movements better. The dragon learned to trust humans more. They practiced flying and fighting skills. Kara's team helped build defenses around the cave. One morning, Kara woke to a strange sound. It was a soft call, almost like a whisper. She followed the noise outside. Near the cave entrance, she found a small, scared alien child hiding behind a rock. The child's eyes were big and full of fear. Kara's heart softened. She spoke gently. "It's okay. You are safe here." The child slowly came forward. Kara gave it food and water. The child smiled for the first time. Kyra decided to call the child Lyra. Lyra's story was sad. Her village had been destroyed in the war. She was the only one left. Kyra promised to protect Lyra and help her find her family if they were still alive. The dragon watched quietly. It felt a new kind of care, not just for itself or Kyra, but for this little child. The dragon lowered its huge head and let Lyra touch its scales. Lyra laughed with joy. Kyra smiled, knowing their small group was growing into a family, but danger was never far away. One day, Kyra's team spotted enemy scouts near the mountain. They moved quickly to warn Kyra and the dragon. The enemy was close, looking for the dragon and anyone who helped it. Kyra and the dragon prepared for battle again. They knew this fight would be different. They had to protect not just themselves but the innocent people who trusted them. The enemy scouts attacked with speed and surprise. But Kyra's team was ready. The dragon roared loudly and flew into the sky. It breathed fire and fought with great strength. Kyra and her team used their weapons and skills to defend the cave. Lyra stayed close to Kyra, watching bravely. The battle was hard, but Kyra and the dragon fought with courage. They pushed the enemy back. The scouts retreated, leaving the mountain safe once more. After the fight, Kyra looked at the dragon and Lyra. She felt proud and hopeful. They were more than a team now. They were a family fighting for a better future. That night, Kyra sat by the fire with the dragon and Lyra. She thought about the long road ahead. The galaxy was full of danger and pain, but also hope and friendship. Together, they could face anything. The dragon lay beside Kyra and Lyra, its huge body warm and strong. Kyra reached out and touched its scales. She whispered, "We will protect each other. We will survive. We will win." Outside, the stars shone brightly. A new chapter had begun. A story of courage, trust, and a strange but powerful bond between a human, an alien dragon, and a lost child. Days passed in the quiet mountain cave. Kyra, the dragon, and little Lyra grew stronger together. The dragon's wounds were almost healed. Kyra taught Lyra how to be brave and careful. The small family shared stories and hope for the future. One morning, Kyra noticed something strange. The dragon looked restless. It paced near the cave entrance, its eyes scanning the sky. Kyra asked, "What is wrong?" The dragon made a low growl and pointed its nose toward the horizon. Kyra saw dark shapes moving far away. More enemy ships coming. The enemy was not giving up. They wanted the dragon back at any cost. Kyra gathered her team. "We must be ready," she said. "This fight will be the hardest yet." The team worked fast, building stronger defenses around the cave. They set traps and alarms. Kyra trained the fighters and medics to move quickly and safely. The dragon practiced flying and roaring, preparing to fight again. One night, the enemy attacked. This time they came with a large fleet of ships and soldiers. Their weapons were powerful and their numbers were many. The sky lit up with explosions and fire. The dragon flew into battle, breathing flames that burned the enemy ships. Kyra and her team fought fiercely on the ground. The fight was loud and dangerous. Kyra's heart beat fast, but she did not give up. Suddenly, Kyra saw Lyra near the edge of the battlefield, frightened and alone. Without thinking, Kyra ran to her. She picked up the child and carried her to safety behind the rocks. The dragon saw Kyra's brave act and grew even stronger. It flew higher and struck the enemy with great force. The battle turned. The enemy ships began to fall one by one. After hours of fighting, the enemy finally retreated. The cave and the mountain were safe again. Kyra and the dragon were tired, but happy. They had won together. That night, Kyra sat with the dragon and Lyra by the fire. She looked at the stars and thought about what was next. The galaxy was still full of dangers, but also new friends and new hope. The dragon spoke softly, its voice like a deep song. It told Kyra about its home planet, a place where dragons lived freely without fear. Kyra listened and promised to help the dragon return there one day. Lyra smiled and hugged Kyra. She felt safe and loved for the first time in a long while. Kara knew they had found something special, a family that would fight and live together. As the fire died down, Kara whispered, "No matter what comes, we will face it. Together." The dragon roared softly, a sound of promise and strength. And under the bright stars, their journey continued, a story of courage, friendship, and hope, across the stars. The morning after the big battle was calm and quiet. Kara woke up feeling tired but hopeful. The dragon was resting nearby, its scales shining softly in the early light. Little Lyra was already awake, exploring the cave and looking at the crystals on the walls. Kara knew they could not stay hidden forever. The enemy would come again, stronger and smarter. But for now, they had peace. She wanted to use this time to prepare, to make their home safer and their team stronger. Kara and the dragon flew over the nearby forests and mountains. They looked for places where survivors might be hiding. Kara hoped to find more people who needed help. The dragon's sharp eyes saw far and wide. On their journey, they found small groups of people, scared, hungry, and tired. Kara's heart ached for them. She told the dragon, "We must help them. We cannot leave them alone." The dragon nodded and flew lower to greet the survivors. Kara gave them food and water. She promised them safety at the cave. Slowly, more and more people joined them. The small group was growing. Back at the cave, the team worked hard to build new shelters and gather food. The dragon helped by flying heavy supplies and guarding the camp from danger. Kara taught the new arrivals how to defend themselves and take care of each other. One day, a stranger arrived. He was tall, wearing a strange uniform with a symbol Kara had never seen before. The stranger said he came with news and a warning. "The enemy is gathering a huge fleet," he said. "They want to crush all resistance. You must prepare for a great war." Kara listened carefully. She asked, "Will you help us fight?" The stranger smiled and nodded. "Yes, we have many who want to stop the enemy." Kara felt hope again. She knew they could not fight alone, but together they had a chance. The dragon roared, as if agreeing with Kara's plan. They would stand strong, no matter what. That night, Kara sat with the dragon and Lyra by the fire. The stars were bright and full of promise. Kara felt the weight of her responsibility, but also the strength of her friends. She whispered to the dragon, "We have a long road ahead, but we will face it together." The dragon growled softly, a sound full of power and trust, and so, their story moved forward, a tale of courage, friendship, and hope against the darkest nights. The days grew darker as the enemy's fleet came closer. Kara, the dragon, and their growing group prepared for the biggest battle yet. The air was tense, and everyone knew this fight would decide their future. Kara stood on a cliff, looking at the horizon. The sky was filled with dark ships, moving like a storm. Her heart was heavy, but her mind was clear. She had to be strong for her people, for Lyra, and for the dragon. The dragon beside her let out a low, steady roar. Its eyes shone with fire and determination. Kara reached out and touched its rough scales. "We will win," she said quietly. Together. As the enemy ships landed, Kara and her team took their positions. The dragon flew above, ready to strike. The battle began with loud noises, explosions, shouts, and the clash of weapons. Kara moved quickly, helping the wounded and leading fighters. The dragon soared high and breathed fire that lit up the battlefield. Its powerful wings knocked down enemy machines, and its sharp claws tore through their ranks. The fight was fierce and long. Many brave warriors fell, but Kara never stopped fighting. She remembered why they fought: for freedom, for hope, and for the future of all. Suddenly, the enemy's leader appeared. He was tall and cruel, wearing dark armor. He challenged Kara and the dragon. The air grew colder as they faced each other. The leader attacked first with a weapon that shot bright, deadly beams. The dragon dodged and countered with flames. Kara used her quick mind and sharp moves to avoid danger and find a way to win. With a powerful roar, the dragon struck the leader, knocking him down. Kara ran forward and tied him up with strong ropes. The enemy's army saw their leader captured and began to retreat in fear. The battle was over. Kara and the dragon stood together, tired but victorious. The survivors cheered, their voices rising into the sky. Little Lyra ran to Kara and hugged her tightly. "You saved us all," she said. Kara smiled and looked at the dragon. "We did it together." Days later, peace began to return. The survivors rebuilt their homes and new friendships grew. Kara, the dragon, and Lyra became symbols of hope and courage across the land. One evening, Kara and the dragon sat under the stars. Kara asked, "What will we do now?" The dragon's eyes shone softly. It wanted to return to its home planet, but it also wanted to stay with Kara and Lyra. They had become a family. Kara knew the journey was not over. There were still many worlds to explore and help. Together, they would travel the stars, spreading peace and friendship. With hope in their hearts, they looked to the future, ready for whatever came next.